Hi! So today I'm going to be doing a tag video, and this tag is called the coffee book tag. I have my coffee, and I have my books back there, and we're just gonna go ahead and do this. So it wasn't actually tagged for this video, but I've seen it around, and I love coffee. Like, I love coffee. I'm a barista, and I just like coffee. It's just the way it is. So I decided that I had to do this tag because coffee and books are like my two favorite things in the world. So I'm like, this tag became like the #1 thing on my list to do. So I'm gonna do it right now. So question number 1 revolves around black coffee. Name a book that is hard to get into, but ultimately has a lot of hardcore fans. And this can be either a book or a series. And for this, I'm choosing Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. So I don't know about other people, but I'm having a really hard time getting into this book. I have started it. I started it almost a year ago. And it's just hard to read. It's really dense. And I knew going into this that this was going to be a hard book for me because it has a lot of characters. And I have a hard time when there are a lot of characters. I get them all confused and I just can't really get into it. So I knew this was going to be hard for me to get into. But I'm trying really hard. But it has a ton of hardcore fans. I mean, the people who love Game of Thrones love it to death. And especially, like, even the TV show has a huge following. I mean, everything about Game of Thrones, the people who love it really, really love it. So I want to try to get into this more. Hopefully I will. I need to just sit down and just dedicate some time to this book. Question number 2 is Peppermint Mocha. Pick a book that becomes more popular kind of in the winter months or around Christmas time. And I don't know if this really applies, but I'm choosing the Infernal Devices series. I don't really know if this is true, but I read this during the winter, and this kind of seems to be a more wintry read. This isn't really something I'm craving to read right now in the summer, but like I would totally want to read this again like in the winter. It's just kind of like this dark and kind of cozy-ish read that you'd want to read during the winter, at least for me. So I'm choosing the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. Number 3 is Hot Cocoa. Pick your favorite children's book. And while I have a lot of books that like I really, really love, they're kind of crossover between like children's, middle grade, and YA. So I'm picking like a definitely like it's 100% children's book. And this is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. I loved this book. This was one of the first books that I really sort of got me started reading, and like almost like maybe 1st or 2nd grade I think is when I read this. And I love this book. I mean, it's so sweet and it made me cry and it's wonderful, and I should honestly read this again. I don't know why I haven't read it again since 2nd grade, but I should. And you should read it too because it's super sweet and I love this book so much. Number 4 is Double Shot of Espresso. Pick a book that kept you on the edge of your seat the entire time that you read it. And for this, I'm choosing The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. This book was insane. Many people, including me, have compared the main character to Katniss from The Hunger Games because she's seriously just like Katniss. And her life is almost more dangerous and more exciting than The Hunger Games, which sounds impossible, I know. This book just has crazy stuff going all the time, and it's very hard to stop reading or be not scared. Number 5 is Starbucks. Pick a book that you see everywhere. And for this, at the moment, I'm choosing John Green's Paper Towns because I'm seeing this absolutely everywhere. And partly because it's being turned into a movie, so I'm seeing all of like the new books like in all the grocery stores with like the movie cover on it. So it's like everywhere because they're trying to promote the movie, and I keep seeing like trailers for the movie, and then lots of people are now reading this, including me. I just finished this like a month ago because of the movie basically. And it's also a great book, so I mean, it deserves the attention. So yeah, Paper Towns by John Green. Next is Hipster Coffee Shop. And for this one, you're supposed to give an indie shout out. And I'm picking Gone by Christine Kersey, if you can see that. I read this last summer, I think, and it was really good. A basic gist is that this girl kind of gets transported to this parallel universe, which I love parallel universes, those are epic. And basically, in this universe, it's illegal to be overweight in any form. And it's a really, really interesting concept. And it has like all these creepy rules, and it's not just that, it's like so many rules about how you live your life. And the main character, basically gets transported there and doesn't really know what to do. And it's really scary and like confusing and really interesting. Basically, it's just really unique. So I would recommend that if you're looking for like an indie sort of sci-fi parallel universe thing. So again, it's called Gone, and it's by Christine Kersey. So yeah, that's my indie shout out. Number 7 is Oops, I Accidentally Got Decaf. Pick a book that you are expecting more of. Now I hate sort of like saying bad things about books, and I'm not really saying this is a bad book in any way because it's not, but I was expecting more from it. And that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs. And so I know that a lot of people love this book, like are hardcore fans of this book, and I don't blame them. It's a good book, but I was expecting a lot more from it. I heard that it was supposed to be really creepy, and it wasn't creepy. It was just kind of weird, which I liked that it was weird. It was really good and really interesting, and Ransom Briggs is a really good author, but it wasn't creepy, and that's what I went into the book wanting. And so I think maybe I just had misinformed views of what the book was going to be, but I ultimately wanted it to be scarier and just more weird than it was. So yeah. And 8 is Perfect Blend, a series that is bittersweet but ultimately has a satisfying ending. And this might be surprising, but I'm picking the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. Okay, so I know that a lot of people hated how the last book ended, and yes, I was very upset as well. And I'm not going to give away any spoilers in case you haven't read the series or the last book yet, so I'm not going to say anything specific. But I do think that it was a good way for the series to go out. I think as far as Triss's character goes, there wasn't any other way for her character to develop. I just think it made sense, and I really liked how Veronica Roth did it. I don't feel like she just took the easy way out. I feel like she actually developed this story arc in a good way. I'm trying not to give it away. So I actually like how this series ended. Yeah. And so now I'm going to tag some people. I'm going to tag 2 people. And they are Lucy Angeles and the reader Rick Flieger. So you guys can have lots of fun doing this tag. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, you should hit subscribe because I have many more like this one. I'm also on Twitter where I tweet about things like books. And I also have a blog where I talk about author things because I'm an author. So if you want to know about publishing and writing and all of that fun stuff, you can go over there. Alright, thank you again, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!